Remember to always start rehearsals on time.
When working with minors, you must be an example of a good role model.
Always make sure that you're dressed appropriately around learners.
Remember, the vocal health of your student is more important than winning a prize.
Be prepared for each rehearsal so that you can reach your goals.
There is zero tolerance for substance abuse in the workplace, especially when dealing with learners.
Respect goes both ways, so be mindful of others.
Remember to always lead by example.
Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be discussing rehearsal room preparation and etiquette. We have a choir that has healthy voices and is balanced, and we have the music that we have interpreted. But how do we start bringing them together? Timeline. We need to make sure we have enough time to teach the choristers the music and enough time to add in details and perfect the performance. To do this, we need to know the following: how quickly the choir can learn the music, when and how often rehearsals are, attendance of choristers, performance date or deadline. How quickly the choir can learn the music is not only dependent on how the choristers learn, but also the difficulty of the piece. If the repertoire is complicated or has some difficult passages, make sure to allow more time to deal with these tricky sections. When and how often rehearsals are can make learning of repertoire harder. For example, if rehearsals are after a long school day and after other extramural activities, choristers might be tired or distracted. If rehearsals are in the morning, choristers are more likely to be well rested and fresh for the day. If you have 3 rehearsals a week, you are more likely to reach your goals faster than if you only have 1 rehearsal a week. But do not use this as an excuse. Encourage the learners to spend some time alone with the music between sessions. Attendance can slow our progress down if the choristers are not committed. When we take an attendance register, it is important to calculate how many choristers we have at each session. If only 50% of the chorus comes to a rehearsal, it will take us longer to reach our goals because we will end up repeating ourselves. Make sure to always include grade, age, and voice group in your attendance register. This can help us see where the weak spots are. Performances or deadlines will determine by when we need to reach our goals. It is always a good idea to pinpoint these dates and work backwards, making sure to include school holidays, exams, and long weekends so we can plan accordingly. So, once we have our timeline, how do we start teaching the music? First, let's break it down. Do all the voice parts have the same lyrics? If so, have the choir speak them all together with the correct rhythms. This way we can make sure everyone pronounces the words the same way. This will help with our vowel placement and blending. If the parts do not have the same lyrics, have them practice the words in the correct rhythm so the choristers can get used to how it may sound. Next, we can focus on the notes. We want to make sure that each voice group understands their notes, so it is our responsibility to know each part by heart so that we can hear if something goes wrong. It is also useful for us to nominate a leader for each voice group. This should be someone that we can trust to teach the part to the rest of their section. Once everyone knows their parts, we can bring everyone together and run through the piece. It is a good idea to start slowly until everyone is comfortable and then get faster until we are at the correct tempo. There should be time after you have reached this step to add in dynamics and fine-tune anything that is not 100%. By the performance, everyone should be comfortable and confident with performing. So how do we conduct ourselves? And no, I don't mean musically. We are the conductor, which means we might also be the musical director, the mentor, the teacher, and we need to behave as such in the rehearsal room. Here are some key things to remember. Lead by example. Patience is key. Practice makes perfect. A happy choir is a great choir. What do we mean by lead by example? Everything that we expect of our choristers, we should also do ourselves. If we tell learners they should be on time for rehearsals, then we should be there beforehand to greet them as they arrive. If we want the choristers to dress neatly and according to the dress code, then we should be dressed respectfully and smartly. A shirt and a blazer is a great semi-formal look for day-to-day sessions. If we stay focused and to the point during rehearsals, then we are showing the choristers that we expect them to do the same. Try some call and response exercises to regain the focus in the rehearsal room. Remember, when working with choirs, there is zero tolerance for substance abuse. We should always make sure that we are focused and alert, not only because we are dealing with minors, but so that we can be quick to react should there be an emergency or an accident. Patience is key. In all aspects of teaching, some students will be able to catch on to things faster than others. This does not mean that we should punish those that take a bit longer, but rather help them to get to the same level as their fellow choristers. When teaching notes and rhythms, regularly check in with the choir to see if anyone is lost and needs a bit more help. Another way to help students is to partner them up with a chorister who catches on quickly. That way they can ask questions and work together. We must also not rush the choir into learning something at a faster pace than they can handle. If you have prepared the music and planned accordingly, everyone should be comfortable at the pace you are setting. Practice makes perfect. This is something our parents and teachers have been saying to us for years, and there is truth to it. Remember that it is useful to go through each voice part or phrase with the choristers several times until they are comfortable doing it by themselves, even if it's just the rhythm or notes without words. Then you can add elements bit by bit. Also ask your choristers to practice at home or when they have some spare time. If they are unable to practice singing at home, they can still work on the rhythm and words. Try and record voice parts in voice notes to send to the learners so they can listen to these when not at rehearsals. This will help them to learn the notes. One of the important things to remember is a happy choir is a great choir. A choir with great voices can be good, but it is only when the members blend well, work together, and lift each other up that we get greatness. Remember to incorporate team building activities into your rehearsals. Choristers should know and be able to work well with each other. The more you work together, the better you will become. Here are some tips to make sure your performance looks as professional as possible. Before the performance, make sure everyone knows where to stand, in which order they are walking on, and where from. If a soloist is using a music stand, make sure it is placed at an angle so the audience can still see them. The music should be on the stand already so that you are not walking on and off with sheet music. Make sure that all choristers are dressed correctly and their hair is neat. If someone is missing a part of the uniform, make sure there is a spare, or ask if any learner has an extra one to lend to the chorister. When we are dressed as a team, we feel like a team. Once on stage, we want to make sure that everyone is focused and has good posture. Be aware of any fidgeting, such as foot tapping or counting. These may throw off the other choristers and the audience. At the end of a song, if there is a musical outro, make sure the choir stays still and focused until the music is finished. Do not forget to bow. We want to smile, keep our legs straight, feet together, and bend from the waist with our eyes looking at our feet. Like this. These techniques and tools will help you plan accordingly so that you can reach your goals. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy each of these modules so you can conduct like a pro.